My name is Benga Oyetayo. Pleased to meet you, sir. Um, can we know you?
Well, my name is Olufunsho Timothy Bolonduro Babatunde.
Well, that name is a combination of Western and African. So can you break it down to us?
Well, my first name is Olufunsho. Olu really stands. Olu is it's from a part of Nigeria which is the Yoruba. Olu stands for God, Oluwa. Uh, but in case of my name is Olufunsho, which means that God has given me to keep. That's Olufunsho. And then that was the name my parents gave me. And they believe that God has given them a son for them to keep, you know. And then the other one, Bolondro, means standing with God. Standing with God simply means you stand for God. And the last, my middle name is Timothy. Well, the story came by that after I was given birth to, normally the culture where I come from is that on the seventh day or the 8th day, a naming ceremony is done. And at the time of my birth, the it there was a revival at my parents' church, and the revivalist was asked to come and name me. You know, it was a week of revival that I was born, and so that revivalist now prophetically gave me the name Timothy, and he said that I was going to be a minister, and that was what he said, I believe, over 50 years ago.
Growing up, sir, from what I understand, you grew up in Nigeria, Lagos specifically.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any, if you can recap how your youth age was, and growing up, some of the people that surrounds you that you can still remember, and some of the significant stuff that you did when you were little. Can you let our audience know?
Well, that's it. That's a major. My childhood days were very interesting. At least one thing that was apparent was that both of my parents were godly. They were godly. So they my dad loved hymns. My mom also sang. My dad was a deacon. I mean, he was a trustee at my church. My mom was a Sunday school teacher and also a businesswoman. My dad was an accountant, and the life at home was very, very pleasant. My dad was a disciplinarian, so it is what he says that goes, and nothing else. And so my childhood days were, I have 4 brothers and 1 sister. We were very close. We were all close. And to look at my upbringing, My dad taught us to be so disciplined. He was a very strict man. My mom was a very soft, loving, compassionate, prayerful woman, and so this rubbed off on us. My childhood days on the religious part was, we were made to pray early in the morning, and that grew up with us. And I went to the missionary school. I went to a school called SBS, which stands for Surulere Baptist School, which was done by the missionaries. And I had, I believed I did what a lot of young people did. In those days, sports was a greater part of my life. I ran because my dad also was a runner. I ran and I played soccer, and I don't know what specific. My childhood days are very very interesting, and I had very wonderful friends. I had very wonderful experiences. You know, I can tell you of I can remember where we lived. We lived on a street called Modupe Johnson, and I had friends that helped to shape my life. I had my let me see. Oh, I'm trying to picture my early days versus my time. I spent mostly with my family, and then outside of my family, it was all sports, and I could be very stubborn, and I had a lot of beatings. My dad did a lot of beatings, and my dad did a lot of beatings on me. Because I loved soccer, and I would be sent to go somewhere, and I'll go and play soccer, and I'll come back, and I'll get serious beatings, and so yeah. But I was also very close to church. The Baptist church was another life that I had. I idolized my pastor, the late Reverend S.O. Daramola. I believed he was Jesus. Looking at him was like looking at the Lord, and he impacted my life greatly. My early days were amazing. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Leading to that question, can you reiterate what actually you can think is very challenging time that you had that you can never forget? When growing up, you did some things, maybe good or otherwise, that you can never, you can center your memory out that you want to tell the world.
Well, now that you're talking, one of the areas that really played a great part was that I noticed that when I was growing up, I was a stutterer, which means I couldn't talk. I had a speech impediment, a very, very serious one. So, and with that, I lacked a lot of patience, because I expressed myself physically, and one situation I could remember was one evening I was we were in the living room, or the parlor, as we normally say, with my brother, uh, now Pastor Wale, and he will and he said some things, he would keep badgering me and badgering me and badgering me, and I think I tried to stop him, and he wasn't going to stop, and I just picked him up. I picked him up real hard, and I banged his head on, I think was something, and before I knew, he was all covered in blood. I will never forget that day. We went to the hospital, the doctor spoke to me, do you want to kill your brother? I said, I will never do this again, never in my life. I remember that, and I made up my mind that I would protect him. And since that day, he's been I remembered when we were playing soccer and somebody tried to hurt him, I took the anger out on this gentleman. His leg, somebody had hit him, and then his little pinky, if he just went this way, pa. So I took that guy, I beat the daylight of him, and then I took his pinky, pa. I put it back up. Our parents never knew what happened. So, because, that could start his new set of spanking. So that was one that I probably remembered. And another one that I probably remembered was when I believe God saved me. I had gone out with one of my friends, and when they want to build houses in Nigeria, they get sand. They put the sand, so as to build. So we were jumping from one sand to the other, and I believed, and I used to flip. I was very agile. I did a lot of acrobatic stuff. I would flip without my hands. So I did that on this, and I missed, and my head banged, and I thought I'd broken my neck. I got up, I shook my neck, I had slight pain. I knew that something or someone